It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry. The sedative easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me.
So it wasn't a dream after all. Animal sky. Freight or food.
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she...
I'll need to write to headquarters right away. Did you take him into this room? Or was he already here?
Everything's spick and span. Nothing left to do, really.
Empty.
No marks, no indications of a struggle.
Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes, Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. No. You're alive, and you're having a conversation. You are on a ship, of course.
Index fingers pressed to her lips. She pauses a moment to give you...
My word. You do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too... Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your... A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. And why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens. Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against my aren't we a meek little lamb? Perhaps I needn't have collared you at all. So let's just leave it on, shall we? Because to answer your question, what this collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast Source.
No marks, no indications of a struggle.
For your own peace of mind, of course.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as...
Indications of a struggle.
Good. Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a...
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. It's a small ship. His name was Finn. Oddball. Looked to me like he saw something he wished he hadn't before he came here. We'll find out who did it.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did. Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared. We'll find out who did this.
She looks up at you with a...
I was on duty in your room when the murder... You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Not in here, it isn't. You let me know if you hear anything. No lesions, no trauma.
Why won't you sing? A no doesn't become a yes over time, you know.
No known associates. In fact, he seems quite averse to spending
It was
time...
one of them. I know it. Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate. They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them. I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on. One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one. Can we just skip to the
My
party?
mum told me not to make friends with dwarves, but I think dwarves are not.
You think me mad? Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
Be careful! Someone died. Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer.
Ah, there you are. Husband.
Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing. How very correct you are, spouse of mine. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you some.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and...
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You presume right. Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an as quickly as they came.
Good luck, Chief.
They're picking us off one by one. Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad?
Name?
Insufferable.
The Divine Order wants to know. Well, you aren't here on my list. Scrammy.
Quiet long enough for me to listen.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He reaches out and examines your face.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Ah, yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... It is pleasurable to meet you. Is there? Wherever. Certainly not in your books. I have been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet... It is simultaneously to... Tell me, what do you know of your... Our world? Oh, please. I have no interest in that. No. I want to know about this text. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have any useful... Now please, run along.
No amount of pestering will get the...
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Mad, you faring okay so far? Trust me, with Bishop Alexander in charge, things will get a lot better from here on out. You head on in now, William.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled. Meanwhile, the Majesty...
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't... Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
I always knew you'd turn out frogs and bend nest. Your kind always...
Oh, goodness, no. And don't even mention the demon's test. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic. A bag is on then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The very basics, then. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions... As per your own testimony, you can groom, but you have the taste, but that won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry. I know, but you still. Hone your...
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms faced. He raises an eyebrow.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Ask what you must. I've nothing to hide.
The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible...
And?
Till overboiling a bit of
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger. It's
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
anticipation. She senses something. That's all you hear, though. Listen, you've got ears on your head, haven't you? Do you need me to show you how to use?
I'm closest to our divine.
Stay away from the Magisters, brother. They killed that fellow back there. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but I know it all the same.
Soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with him. I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take your sub.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded, a sly smile playing on his face.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it
pinches less that way, right?
hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many moons ago.
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Ifan grins, flashing pointed white.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the joy. Away from interested... No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring...
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself. Not interested in the son of the divine himself? I don't blame you one bit.
What are you conspiring about over there? You!
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name!
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls...
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate
Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear, anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough.
Keep those bones trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Murder most foul, and I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though.
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound.
The hatch is blocked. I need to find another way.
That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards! Thank the gods! By divine grace, who was that?
He eyes the collar circling your neck.
Another sorcerer! Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't. Some crazy banshee comes screaming through, and now we got void bugs swarming. Go on then. Find a place to hide and stay.
What will happen to us?
You need to find a hiding place. And... Not long before this thing snaps into splinters! Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull!
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You don't recognize... You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. That it doesn't budge. The moment you touch the door, the door groans open.
Something's breaking through! What in the hells are those things? Death fog! I need to get out of here! Now!
Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you! There's a ladder right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear? That's what we make move.
Wait! Voidwoken!
These beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
Let the games begin.
Prepare yourself!
They who are about to triumph.
I thought Voidwoken was supposed to be scary.
I've faced worse.
Not tarry. This old tub is about to burst.
I hear something.
We need to wait!
There's no time.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan. Those Voidwoken made short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor?